Hello, and welcome to The Chat, a podcast about all things Chatham County. I am Abby Murphy. I'm with the Public Information Office, and joining us back behind the scenes is Nick Beard.
Morning. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am good. I'm excited to have our guest here today because this is an interesting topic, and I love nature and everything outside. So let's jump into it.
All right. Well, joining us again today is Holly Holdsworth. And we're going to be talking about getting fit because the new year is approaching and many people's resolutions are to be healthier, to get more fit, get more in shape. And fortunately, Chatham County Parks and Recreation Department offers a lot of opportunities. So Holly, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about some of what the parks have to offer in terms of being fit and active.
Absolutely. So we've got a lot of spaces that people can utilize and kind of a very good variety.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of neighborhood parks with playgrounds that would be just nice green spaces that you could take your kids. They can be playing on the playground and you could be walking laps around it. And then we've got bigger parks that offer a lot more opportunities with Lake Mayer and Stell Park, where there's tennis courts and basketball courts at some of our parks. So there's opportunities for other kind of active lifestyle activities that can get you outside and moving.
So if someone knew they had a park nearby them, but they wanted to know, is there a walking trail? Is there a tennis court? How could they find out that information?
Yeah, so there's a lot of the information is on our website. Mm-hmm. So if you go to the Parks and Recreation website, it lists all the parks. You can search for them by the different types, and then it'll show you what kind of facilities are there, and it usually has pictures along with it. So if it's got a playground or a walking trail, and some of our walking paths that go around different lakes and other facilities, they may have exercise stations around them, and so there's some different opportunities at different parks. But a lot of our Stell and Lake Mayer and Tom Triplet are big parks that have walking trails around a nice lake, and they're lighted, and so they're good. They're good to use kind of all day.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I particularly love going to Lake Mayer. I go there quite often, and there's so much to do. There is the walking trail, skate park. If anyone likes to skateboard, I feel like that's a good way to get active. I'm personally terrible at skateboarding. Tennis courts. I mean, there is a lot to offer, and what's great is that it's free to the community.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because sometimes that can be a barrier to trying to get fit is, you think you need to spend all this money to go to a gym or to fitness classes or something, and you can just go outside and enjoy these parks for free.
So true. So true. There's a lot of exercise programs out there. And a lot of different gyms, and those can cost sometimes a lot of money for some people. And I've always been an advocate for trying to be active outside, and I think it's good for your physical health as well as your mental health.
Absolutely.
And so there can be a lot of benefits for getting outdoors and enjoying some of those spaces. And there's there's always in any of those public parks, they're so well used that there's always a lot of people around. So it's not something that you feel like you have to do by yourself.
Yeah.
There's always kind of an encouragement, kind of positive feel when you're walking around any of the parks, because there's a lot of other people doing it, and then there's people fishing and people on boats, and so you're kind of in these environments that really encourages that kind of healthy lifestyle as well.
That's so true. And I know that there are some bike trails that people could use as well. Can you kind of tell us where those are located?
Yeah, so we've got bike trails out at Tom Triplet. There's also bike trails at our Wilmington Island Park. And we also, the McQueen's Trail out on Tybee, we're doing a lot of work to that one right now. Yeah. And so when that opens back up, that's another trail that's a multi-use that you can have bikes on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when that does open back up, because I haven't been on it personally, but hearing about how you can bike through essentially the marsh sounds pretty neat.
It is. It's a beautiful trail, but being so close to the water, it's.
I know. Yeah, you're fighting nature at that point.
We're fighting nature there, but the engineering department has a great plan to get that up and running again, and that's also a cool bike trail.
Well, I also wanted to touch on the fact, you may have plans to go outside and get active, but the weather's just not cooperating. So Parks and Recreation does offer activities indoors as well, which there is a small fee, but it's really minimal.
Yes. So there are some opportunities inside if outdoors is not working out for you. And we have our aquatic center that gets a lot of use in the wintertime, I think, because people are coming inside. And so we offer water aerobics classes and leisure swimming and active swimming as well. We actually have the Anderson Cohen Weightlifting Center is a county facility, and it has a gym that anybody can come and use. They obviously do Olympic weightlifting training and some other programs there. But anybody can have a membership to the gym, which is a reasonable fee. And then we have the Frank Murray Center, and the Frank Murray Center offers all kinds of programs, and really has a really inclusive kind of variety where people of any kind of skill and ability can take part in. They actually have a chair yoga class, which is beneficial for people that may be confined to a wheelchair, but also folks that just haven't really started any kind of workout routine, and they're not really sure where to start. And they've got one that's called Sit and Be Fit. And so a lot of people that are recently retired that have been in a desk job their whole lives and really haven't done a lot of active things, they're trying to figure out how to really start that. And it's a good kind of entry into some strength building while you're still comfortably seated. So they have a lot of good programs, Pilates and yoga and Zumba, and those classes also take place. Zumba is available at Tom Triplett and at Lake Mayer too.
So if someone wanted to find out about, are those Zumba classes offered regularly at Tom Triplett and these other parks, where can someone find out that information?
Yes, so those are also posted on the website. You can also follow it on social media. Most of those, I think, are Mondays and Wednesdays in the evenings. The Zumba classes are. And then they have other yoga classes and things at Frank Murray throughout the day.
And yes, Nick and I, we've been to Frank Murray we did a story on it. And part of that was I participated in some of their classes.
Oh, very cool.
And I got a good workout. They really those are some good. Yeah, they were good exercise classes.
Yeah, they are. They're really it's a good beginner, but you think, well, how much can you really do if you're in a chair? How much, if you've never done Pilates or yoga before and you think, I don't know, is that really anything that's going to be that challenging? And it is, but the instructors are great.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of know, they're filling out the class and what people can and can't do. And you don't want to do anything that's too uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But it's a good environment because you're with other people. And
yeah. Well, and that's what I saw. I saw people of different ages and skill levels that were all participating in the class. So it really, no one should feel nervous about participating in any of those classes.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's first timers in there, and then there's people that have been coming for years, and everybody gets something out of it. And so you don't have to worry about being the first person to come. And they're very welcoming there, trying to encourage more people to come in.
We'll definitely have to have Jody Moody, who runs the Frank G. Murray Center, on this show, so she can talk a little bit more about that. And I also wanted to ask, where is the location of the weightlifting center?
The weightlifting center is right beside Memorial Stadium. The new Memorial Stadium, it sits right next to it, and then the Public Works building is on the other side of it. And it's a great gym. There's all kinds of workout equipment in there. There's also coaches and trainers that can assist if weightlifting is something that you have interest in. And so Team Savannah works out of the facility. They're the ones that manage it for the county. And then Abilities Unlimited also works out of there, and they do therapeutic exercise programs. And they run also some Special Olympics runs out of there, and a gym program, which is Get Excited and Move. And it's a program for people with Parkinson's or other types of balance issues. And it starts kind of as a boxing as well as other activities. So when you go in there, it's really fun because there's, similar to Frank Murray, there's always something going on.
Sounds like it.
Different groups of people in there, and it's a really encouraging, kind of exciting environment. And so it's always rewarding to be in there. And you'll have those things happening simultaneously as just regular gym users that are using the exercise equipment. So that's kind of a neat different thing that you don't see other places.
I didn't know there were all sorts of classes like that going on.
Yeah. So they're doing those kind of throughout the day. Certain times you go in there in the middle of the day and there might not be a whole lot, but in the evenings especially, and in the mornings they do a lot of classes.
So what are the hours for that weightlifting center?
The weightlifting center is open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. during the week, and then on Saturdays we just change the hours from 10 until 4.
Okay. So then that's pretty friendly for anyone that's working full time.
Yeah.
Those hours would still work because they could go in the evening and still work out.
Go after work for sure. And they do have showers there if you can get away for lunch or something. There is opportunities to utilize that. They also have saunas.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. And you said they have classes out there, right?
They do. Well, they do the gym program, but they don't have many. They don't have classes like Zumba or Pilates or any of those kind of like classes
but
at
you do
the
have
gym.
that other part, so you can still get it all in.
Exactly.
And I just was thinking about how sometimes there's Zumba offered at the Tybee Island Pier on occasion.
Yeah, there is. Every once in a while they will have, usually when it's the weather's a little bit warmer, they will have some different instructors that will do special programs out on the pier, usually first thing in the morning. They'll do like a sunrise one, and so that's always kind of cool because that's a little different to be out there on that big pier.
Yeah, I definitely want to participate in one of those classes one day.
Yeah.
So I'll keep an eye out when it gets warmer to see when some are offered.
Yeah.
But it's just wonderful because there's so many different opportunities throughout Chatham County to be active. And so I think we're just very fortunate to have all of those opportunities, the outdoor, going outside to all of these different parks or going inside and getting fit, swimming at the aquatic center. I mean, it's just, y'all are doing a great job. And it's just wonderful that we have everything here to get active if we want to, and it's open to the community.
It is. Yeah, that's what we encourage most. The Parks and Recreation Department is always trying to, make sure that we're serving as much of the public as we can, and figuring out different things that people have interest in, and how recreation is changing, and what we can do to help accommodate that. We've got tennis courts, but pickleball is making a big impact, and so we've started to convert some tennis courts to pickleball courts. And so you have these opportunities to kind of plug in with different folks. I think there's walking clubs and other things that utilize some of our spaces. Nice. So it's a good way to meet new people, and also have a little fun and maybe learn a new sport or new activity. Yeah. That's the other thing. It's, if you're trying to think of things to do to be active, trying something new is kind of a fun component of it. And you may not like it, but at least you've tried and maybe met some new people. So there's some good opportunities for different types of play, and there's so many rewards that can come from that. With your health and physical health, and then mental health, and it's easy to sit inside and watch a lot of Netflix, and I do it where you're just like, it's nice to not have to do anything after work. But I always feel better if I get outside and go do something, go walk around a park, or do some sort of activity. There's always so much reward in that.
Yeah, me too. And especially since I've had my daughter, I've definitely been looking for activities where I can still be active and she's entertained. So a park is perfect because we can stroll around in the stroller, and then when she gets tired of being in that, then we go to the playground. She can run around, have fun. So I've really, really enjoyed using Chatham County parks. It's made me where I can be active again. And I can easily do that with my daughter, and she can play with other kids too. So it's just kind of a win-win all around. So for families, I think especially, it's a good opportunity.
Yep. And I think it's always fun. I'm always the kid at heart. And so when I have my nieces or nephews, or I'm with friends with kids, I'm the adult that goes and runs around on the playground with the kids. And,
I understand that.
Other adults are probably like, this crazy person. But there's something fun about that, where you can be, a little childlike, and playgrounds are built strong enough for adults too. And so it's like, it's just fun to get up there and do those kinds of activities, and it makes you remind yourself of your childhood, and you think, it's not, we might get into our adult ways and forget that there's fun to be had. And, reverting back to that is,
I definitely can't resist getting on some of that equipment. When bring Violet to the playground.
Exactly. They make some of it and you're like, that looks actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
And they think, well, I want to check that out. Playgrounds in general, the way that they have changed over time, and playground developers and how they come up with all these new ideas, and now there's all these like Ninja Warrior playground courses and things, and so we've been replacing actually a lot of playgrounds in the last few years because ours are just really aging out, where you have the old, just like a swing set and a slide and kind of some of the generic things, which I kind of like because it reminds you of your younger days. But the new ones, they're just bright and colorful and have
fun.
So many different themes, and so it's fun to kind of see where that creative mind comes from and join in on it.
Yeah. No, I'm glad I'm not the only one that wants to play on playgrounds.
Right? Sometimes you have to out of necessity, especially if you have like small toddler children. You see them climb up there and then you're like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely have to be hands-on whenever Violet's trying to go down a slide.
Right.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to add about getting fit using parks and recreation facilities?
I think, we encourage people to come out and check out the different parks, the ones that are in your neighborhood, the ones that might be a little further away, and just try something new. In a new year, it's always good to have some New Year's resolutions, and getting active is always one that people always kind of say that one. But maybe put a twist on it with try it with some new activity you've never tried before, because that might be how it sticks. If you decide a new sport or a new activity that you haven't done before and you really like it, that might be the motivation to keep doing it.
That's very true. Nick, do you have any other questions or anything to add?
Just really quick, I live about 10 minutes from Tom Triplett Park, and I know there's a lot of construction that's going on out there. And whenever I go out there, there are a lot of people. Like, I was surprised how many people actually walk around that park. But they do stop and ask me when they realize that I work for the county. They're inquiring about what's going on out there, since there seems to be a lot of construction going on out there. Can you briefly hit on that for those people that are wondering what's going on out there?
Absolutely. So, Triplett has always had plans for an expansion, and we finally started to work on the next phase of the park. And there's the disc golf course and the trail around the lake and a lot of the front of the house kind of components. And now we've started to develop a little bit further back, where there's a big field that can be used for a lot of different sporting events, as well as we've got plans to hopefully put in an amphitheater and have kind of concerts and other opportunities. And there's additional parking. There's only so much parking at the front part of Tom Triplett, and so now we've got more parking and kind of more access to the back side where where that big field and additional bathrooms have been put in. So kind of opens up that space where majority of the facilities were right there at the front when you come in, and now we're trying to kind of spread it out a little bit. So that's what's happening on that backside. Which will be exciting to have that next component available.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. So it's big. It cleared it. I saw it when it looked like mud because it just rained. But, it was a big open space that now probably has grass on it and looks a little better. But yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I think that just about covers it. And it sounds like the best thing is for people to check out the Parks and Recreation Facebook page or the website to really find out all the opportunities available and see what classes are going on.
Exactly. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunities there, and maybe make a monthly checklist of visiting a new park and trying a new activity, just once a month. And that would be, not too much of a goal that isn't attainable. And bring your friends along with you. It's fun.
It is more fun with a buddy.
That's true. That's true.
Well, thank you for joining us on the chat today, and thank you, Holly, for being here again. And we look forward to joining you next time.